About that. Good morning, everyone. It is 8:39 right now. Welcome back to the program. Lou being joined by Dan Cummins. He's the headliner at the Funny Bone. Jackie's en route, going down to the Habitat for Humanity house. It is Founders Day here at Nexstar Broadcasting, and we're actually helping to build a house. We're going to go down here in a little bit, and we're going to be putting siding up on a house.
Wow, that's great.
I think it's one of my tasks is to do that. So we're going to have a lot of fun. She's going to dive in there. She's strapping her boots on with her dress. These big yellow boots that she has. So that's going to be fun. She'll be live coming up after the top of the hour. But we're visiting with Dan right now. And Dan, we were talking before our little break here about flatters is what you called them. And
flat earthers.
And I didn't quite understand what that meant, but flat earth people.
Yeah, the people who believe, you know, and now I'm distracted. Now I'm thinking of the ladies on Hee Haw. I used to love that show. I watched it with my grandpa. I can't remember her name, but man, the girl who popped out of the corn and she had the kind of like a Daisy Duke.
Yeah, for the original Daisy Duke look.
Still like that look. Still like that look. Yeah. It's a good one. It's a good one. Never let those go out of style, ladies. Yeah.
Bring it back.
Short shorts and cowboy boots.
That works. That works. Hee Haw and always in reruns too.
Oh yeah, yeah. But the flat. It's just crazy to me that. It's not one of those things that's up for debate. It's not like, you know, you can have an opinion of like, you know, this band's good, this band's not. It's like the earth for sure is round. But it was like, it just drives me crazy that people can go to this place where it's like, no, actually, where's your proof? It's like, there couldn't be more proof. They can't get more pictures from space. But they don't care. And it's like, when I try to show how ridiculous it is and just how illogical, if you just look at the two sides, there's two sides of the debate. On one side, on the earth is round side, is every scientist alive. Every scientist who hasn't had a psychotic break.
That market cornered, right?
Yep, they have every NASA employee, every astronomy, and a professor, every physics professor, every pilot who actually makes it to their destination. Who gets it, who understand if they flew in the same direction, eventually they could make it back to where they began their journey as opposed to drifting off into the void.
Right.
Just, over the ice wall that keeps the oceans from pouring into the abyss and feeding the Kraken or whatever. and then on the other side, you have Tila Tequila and Kyrie Irving and similar intellectuals.
And they're flat earthers.
They're the flat earthers. That to me says it all. NASA on one side, Tila Tequila on the other side. And then, if people don't remember who she is, former reality star, former adult film star, former MySpace star, current candidate for one of the most ignorant people I've ever heard of. She's a Vietnamese white supremacist. It's the most confusing thing.
That is bizarre, yeah.
Ethnically 100% Vietnamese. Part of the white supremacist movement to the point that Twitter bans her account all the time for pushing out neo-Nazi stuff. It's crazy, and she's not kidding.
No.
So confusing on two levels.
But these people honestly believe they're not just doing it just to get some attention.
No, it's not a joke. They really believe it. There's all these weird theories within it. They come up with these crazy explanations. This is a no joke explanation that just came out recently in the news. It's the Pac-Man theory is what they call it jokingly. Because people were like, well, what if you made it to the edge, couldn't you just like fall off? And they're like, no. Similar to Pac-Man, where the ghosts go off one side and then just magically pop up on the other. That's what they think happens.
That's what happens?
If you make it to the edge of the flat Earth and you try to walk through, you just teleport back onto the other side like a video game. And that, to me, sums up the intellect of these people. It's like, when you are trying to describe scientific phenomena, well, it's like Pac-Man. You've seen Pac-Man. Just make it, it's a Pac-Man move. That's it. Next science question.
Okay.
They're just giant third graders. They're not.
I can't believe this is real. You said they pack auditoriums.
Auditoriums with crazy ideas.
What area? What area of the country?
Oh, all over there. There's flat earthers that have. There's the Flat Earth Society .org, which is in the U.S. I love, this is the level of these people. There's a frequently asked questions page on their website. One of the questions is, what about gravity? Fair question.
Okay, that would be a good one, yeah.
Their scientific answer is, gravity's a myth. Stuff just falls. Next question.
That's how they explain it.
They're like third graders. You ever trying to argue with a third grader? Like, I have a fourth grader now. You can't win an argument because their brain doesn't understand the difference between an explanation and just yelling something obvious. Like just that we already knew, which is not an answer. But they think it's the same thing. That's the flat earther mentality. Like, what about gravity? Stuff just falls. Next science question.
Check.
Check.
They put a check next to it.
What else do you got? How do planes fly? They go in the air for a while. Next science question. Check. It's like those aren't answers.
And these are real people, and they're probably making money, too.
These are real people who are raising families and voting. That's the terrifying part to me.
Yeah, we just got done talking about voting here a couple days ago, too, and obviously everybody knows how important it is, and they have the same rights you do, young man.
They do. They do. There needs to be like an IQ thing with voting where, the higher you score, the more your vote counts. It seems more fair to me.
Just to make
a
things
weighted system.
Just to make things even. Yeah, for the smart people.
Yep. If you're ranting about lizards taking over the earth on a street corner, you get like -3 votes. Whoever you vote for loses votes, actually. Right?
That's an interesting theory.
Some professor votes, they get +6.
Jacks them up a little bit more.
That's right.
You might be able to run on that platform.
I don't know where I'd fall. I might be in the negative category, but I still think it's a good idea. I might be a -1 vote.
Do you believe in flat Earth or round Earth?
I do. I'm a rounder. I'm a rounder.
Then you're
So I
not
think
gonna
that
be in
makes
that
me
category.
That makes me 0 at least.
That is cool. Now, one thing you're going to, speaking of cool, one thing you're going to notice if you go to the Funny Bone tonight or tomorrow night, that's where you can see Dan. Check out who's opening for you.
Pat House,
House.
Philly's finest. He's a very funny guy.
Yeah, and he said he's very proud.
He's very proud. You'll probably hear some stuff about how great their sports teams are, as if he had something to do with that, which he did not.
Well, Philadelphia people are proud of their sports teams.
They are. Philadelphia, they're an interesting bunch, man. Doing comedy there is fun because I do like it because it's very Thunderdome-esque, to use a dated reference. It's, if they're with you, they're with you. And if they're not, they let you know.
Yeah, they hate you.
Oh, yeah.
It's not,
open.
It's not like or maybe like, it's like or hate.
Nope, it's be cheered or be heckled.
Now, as I was going to say, one thing you notice about you, you have a very unique tattoo. And Mark, if we can get a shot of his tattoo here on camera 4, here to your right, Dan.
Oh, there we go.
So we'll show it there. I have never seen a tattoo.
It's not a popular one.
Of Idaho.
This is where I'm from, and then this is where I live now.
What's the name of the city?
Riggins, Idaho, little 400-person town, and then Coeur d'Alene, the giant 50,000-person metropolis.
Is that the biggest city in Idaho?
No, Boise's bigger.
Okay. Where's
Idaho
Boise on your arm?
Boise would be here.
Okay, Boise right there in the middle. Okay.
And then you got Idaho Falls, Pocatello over here. But this is the only part of up here. This is what I like of Idaho. Down here,
not so much.
Nah, it's some potato farms.
Okay.
This is the mountains and the lakes.
All right.
And I like it because no one is proud of Idaho.
You don't hear people
like
beating their chest about Idaho, beside the fact of potatoes. Now, how many people confuse you with where you are right now?
Oh, a lot of people are like, oh yeah, no, Iowa, no, that's great. I get it. They think, yeah, if you're east of the Mississippi and you say Idaho, it happened to me actually. A taxi from the airport last night.
No way.
Yep, they just like, oh well, welcome. You're from here or Ohio. But usually Iowa is where I get confused with. A lot of people, it is sad, just talking about what we were talking about earlier, a lot of people that I've met a surprising amount of people who don't know where Idaho even is. Like they have no idea. Like where is that? It's a state. It's a real state. You don't have to know where Uzbekistan is, but know where Idaho is.
How far like time-wise or mileage is Idaho from Des Moines? Or say from Iowa?
Oh, we're Pacific time. Well, we're partly Pacific, partly Mountain, the state. But
so you even split the time zones?
Yeah. Actually, like Riggins, where I grew up, there's time zone bridges 2 miles outside of town. One side of the river, you're Mountain. One side, you're in Pacific. But it's a long way from Des Moines. I don't even know. I'm guessing well over 1,000 miles.
Okay, so quite a jaunt.
Yeah, because we're right. I mean, where I live is a few miles from Washington, and then we're about 290 miles from the coast.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you probably frequented that.
Yeah. Seattle is a little bit. Actually, I was raised pretty poor in Riggins. We didn't really travel much. We would travel. We would do back to school shopping at the big city of Lewiston, which is like I don't know. 20,000 people. Okay. We hit Kmart and Shopko, get those knockoff sneakers once a year.
Of course you do.
And then back to Riggins. Fun place to grow up though, because people talk about their childhoods and about the rich kids versus these kids, or this group versus that group. We were all in the same group. It was just easy. I remember the coolest fashion I owned as a kid was a gas station jacket. I bought a jean jacket at a gas station, and I had silk screened on the back Chief Joseph's face. And I wore that at 90 degrees, jean jackets on.
You always had it on?
Always had it on. Got a lot of compliments. I had the Billy Ray Cyrus permed mullet for about 2 years.
I could see that.
A lot of compliments on that. It was a fun place to grow up. Yeah.
Growing up in Idaho, where'd you move from there then?
I moved to Spokane, not far, and then went to LA for a while, and then back to Idaho recently.
Okay, so you're back in Idaho now.
Yeah.
And that's where your podcasts originate from.
That's where we did the podcast. Is funny, like the way things have changed. Where now I have my little podcast studio in Idaho, and now I get more requests for meetings in LA because of that I don't even want to go to. Where I'm like, no, I got my own show 2 blocks from my house. I can bike to work in Idaho. Done.
So you actually have a full-blown studio. It's not even at your house.
No, yeah, we have a studio and everything where we record, and and do it, and got the sponsors and everything. It's fun, man. It's a new world where you can live wherever.
There you go. All right, well, he's not going anywhere, folks, except to the Funny Bone.
That's right.
A little later on tonight and tomorrow night. DesMoines.funnybone.com to get your tickets. Stop out and see him. Air conditioning's on. Drinks are cold. Dan Cummins going to be back with us in just about 2 minutes. Don't go too far. This is CW Iowa Live.